welcome. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell, share the show. Thank you for listening. This is Joey. Let's get started. Now, this is a big one because we've kind of hit phase one of the plan here. And I want to start this off by just saying congratulations to Black people. We pulled this one off flawlessly. And, I couldn't have written it down any better. This last election went exactly according to plan. And what we need to do is sit back and enjoy the chaos. What has happened to the general American public over the last few years, culminating in this election, is a reflection of what society normally does to Black people, which is have us in a very, 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 very serious state of confusion. It's actually very difficult to make good decisions from a position of desperation and confusion, right? People like to ask Black folks, why do Black folks do this and why do Black folks do that? A lot of times the answer is you're in a state of confusion and desperation, right? That's why they call them penitentiary chances. No one's taking penitentiary chances from a state of comfort, right? Very, very few people do that. And you're seeing now the general American public have to make decisions out of extreme desperation and confusion. And what I saw from Black people the other night is I saw discipline and I saw consistency. Black people have been telling the Democratic Party for the last 4 years, well, for decades, but for the last 4 years specifically, if you do X, we are going to do Y. And previous generations have not been able to pull this off, have not been able to back this up. And it's allowed the Democratic Party to get very comfortable in doing what they feel like doing. And this is the first generation in a long time that sat back and said, we're going to leave your ass at these polls. And that's exactly what Black folks did, Black men in particular. And what I want to point out now is the fallout. Because like I said last episode, elections have consequences. Now, I've mentioned this before, that the Black vote is by far and away the most important vote in politics here in America. And during election season, you can tell when election season has officially ramped up because focus from the Democratic Party goes solely on the Black vote. But the second the election's over and it's time to go to exit polls, the magic becomes making that all-important vote disappear. This happens every election cycle. It was most egregious in the 2020 election, where you went from literally counting the population of Black people in certain districts to make sure you're going to win on live air, on CNN, on MSNBC, to immediately at the close of the election, giving all credit to college-educated white women, right? This election cycle, when it goes good, you give the credit to other people because you can't have, as I said before, if you give the credit to Black people, then logic dictates that you would then owe Black people. So as soon as the election's over and you win, you have to make Black people disappear. But when the election's over and you lose bad, now the focus has to be on Black people for the blame. And what Black people are normally used to doing is backpedaling and explaining and trying to contextualize, oftentimes with facts. No, 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 it wasn't us. We voted this much, and black men, we vote just right behind black women. And I promised you we voted. I promised you we did. No. What I'm seeing a lot of black people do this time. Black people are and black people should eat all of that and go, yeah, we did it. And what the hell are you going to do about it? This is a revelation. This is a big reveal. People are starting to realize that the power structures that we thought existed don't really exist. People are getting exposed. The Democratic Party, the white liberal handlers in the Democratic Party are realizing that those black boule Negro whisperers that they hired to handle the rest of the Negro population, they don't got as much sway with the black community as they thought they did. And everything was based on that. I've told you about this episodes ago. I told you about the black political economy, that there are whole swaths of sellouts, turncoats, jigaboos, coons, unashamed and unabashed coons who make entire careers out of convincing white folks that they can make it rain with black folks. There's a whole bunch of Clay Davises, for those of you who used to watch The Wire, right? There's a whole bunch of niggas that convince white folks in the political parties that they can convert the niggas, that they're the Pied Piper of the niggas. And that got exposed. The Democratic Party, see, the reason why the Democratic Party, you're seeing a lot of anger, you're seeing a lot of frustration and mashing of teeth and all that kind of stuff. You're seeing a lot of bussy bureaucrats have little tissy fits, and it's so fun. Like I want to have we'll do this later on, but I want to have a whole sidebar just laughing at this shit because all they can really do is throw tantrums. You're realizing they really have no threat. They really have no ultimatum. See, when the Trump voters was mad, people was nervous. Oh, these niggas got AR-15s and they all served in the military. Some of these niggas are former cops. These guys are crazy. They're over there bringing pipe bombs and shit. Ooh, these dudes and the Democrats, all they're going to do is what they're going to do, throw glitter at you? Throw dildos and vibrators. And like, no one respects these people. None of these dudes got bass in their voice. The women have no power. You got the women talking, we're withholding sex, and they're all ugly. Like people are realizing, and they're realizing, oh my God, these dudes was letting us win. Men were letting a lot of you women slide. We were trying to be more gentlemanly, and y'all took it as we won. It's like, no, it's the wrong approach. But people are realizing now within the black community, these Negro boule bootlick whisperers are Negroes, are talking androids. They don't have the sway over the black community like we thought they did. When you're seeing a lot of these black Democratic bootlicks throwing temper tantrums and hissy fits and kicking their little heels up and just, ooh, it's so funny to watch, right? When you see them doing all this and acting like Damon Wayans and David Allen Greer in Men on Film, they're not really crying and lamenting the fall of the Democratic Party. Because remember, they're just scavengers and opportunists, mind you. They're not really crying because of any kind of politics. Half of them can't even recite any of these bills or any of the intricacies of any of these policies. They're crying because they're about to lose their jobs, man. That's what they're worried about. They're finna lose their little spot, their little comfy position next to white folks. These are people that still lay up in Ed Buck's house after he done killed a couple of them. These are people that are under the thumbs of George Soros and people like that ilk. They find comfort. You got to always watch the black folks that sit closest to white society. This is the slave play crowd, right? These are the people that like being under white liberal thumbs and have white liberal thumbs in other parts. That's a whole other story. They're scared to death because they know white mommy and daddy are disappointed in them. They don't move the needle like they thought they would. The reason why you see the Democratic Party so confused right now, because you're seeing a lot of anger, you're seeing a lot of tissy fits, you're seeing a lot of tantrums, but above all of that, beyond all of that, the overarching theme you're seeing from Democratic tastemakers, Democratic decision makers, people in Democratic think tanks, Democratic strategists, is you're seeing genuine bewilderment and confusion of how did this all go wrong? And where that comes from is they've run the tried and true playbook that they've always ran, that's always worked. In fact, if you go by their logic, they turned it up a little. Black folks, they used to be able to get our black asses with Bill Clinton coming out playing saxophone during the Arsenio Hall show. That shit used to work on us, right? You could come out. See, when you see them come out doing these awkward ass dances and shit like that, you see them coming out with Meg the Stallion and Glorilla. That used to work on black people. You wouldn't have to come out and do a single policy. I told y'all a couple episodes ago, you used to know that it was politics time in the black community, almost like a groundhog coming up and seeing its own shadow and running away, and it's 6 more weeks of winter. You would know that it was politics time in the black community when Al Sharpton's ass come out dancing. Soon as you see Al Sharpton doing the funky chicken, oh, it must be time for us to go vote. They made it a coon buffoon soiree to the point to where they wouldn't even talk. Look at how they came at us this time. Like I said, you don't make good decisions from confusion and desperation. And the Democratic Party was more confused and more desperate than they've ever been, to the point to where they weren't able to dress up the bullshit good like they normally did. They gave you a half-baked candidate in Kamala Harris, who was a half-baked candidate of a half-baked candidate in Joe Biden. Slapped that together real quick, came out and said, here, vote for her. She's black. They didn't even dress it up good like they did with Obama, right? At least with Obama, you got good seasoning on that bullshit. And it was, I was born by a river. And he was giving all that. He's as close to the civil rights movement as your black asses are going to get. Just vote for him. He's kind of black. He's got a black wife. And we ate it up. We love the imagery of a black family. They didn't give you none of that shit this time. They didn't even try to cover it up. They gave you some Indian woman with a white husband and no kids, right? You weren't even able to enjoy the optics of having a black woman, quote unquote, in the office. She didn't have no black folks around her. Barack Obama is more than likely probably a closeted gay man. Or at the very least, it was confirmed that he was the type of black guy that would have a lot of white women. All his girlfriends and his shopping buddies and his beards were white. Up until he really wanted to win the presidency and be the first black president, he at least committed and said, let me go find a black woman, make it look convincing. Went to a black church for years. He played his part to be able to get that caricature on him. Kamala didn't do none of that shit. They whipped that together so fast. They looked out their office door and found the first melanated thing they could find and told her, speak what a black said. She wasn't politically polished at all. Nothing. And they tried to pass that off as a candidate and tried to put black folks on the spot like you niggas better protect her. Right? And in their mind, it should have worked. It's worked every other time. Why wouldn't it work now? So you're hearing genuine confusion, bewilderment from the top. Especially when considering, now, what did I tell you when she got elected? I said, now, I will give a polite golf clap to the Boule Bootlicks. You finally showed some fortitude, and you told your white paymasters, if you don't put Kamala Harris at the top of this ticket, we're not going to back you. We're going to tell black folks not to vote for you. Now, while I give kudos, it also showed that you do have an ability And I want everyday black folks to understand these boule bootlicks, these black faces in high places, they do have the ability to stand up for something. They do understand the power position that they were in. They do understand, and they did understand how to use that power position because they threatened to use that power position to get their girl in office. They just don't use that power when it comes to black folks. They use that shit for their careers. They understood that Kamala getting in that position, that very weak, untested position, because if you threw Joe Biden in there, who's basically a half animated cadaver, if you had Joe Biden in there looking like Weekend at Bernie's, if you could have Joe Biden in there, why not Kamala? Incompetency and all. And they knew that getting Kamala in there would give them closer proximity to power. That was a career move just for them. And I told you, I said that was a good battle that you won, but you're about to lose the war. Because you convinced white people of two things. One, that you were going to make sure that black folks didn't vote if they didn't put your girl in there. And two, that you were going to help white folks win with her if they did put your girl in there. That you were going to be able to convince black folks to vote for her. And your white liberal handlers are realizing now that you didn't have the pull to make good on either one of those threats. These white liberal think tanks, these white liberal Democratic strategists, they understand now they can't go to a Roland Martin and Angela Rye. They can't go to any of y'all. They can't go to a Joy Reid, a Don Lemon. You niggas have no touch, no credibility, no connection with the black community at all whatsoever. They're realizing that all these blackity blacks you see stomping the yard from these HBCUs and these little LGBTQ sparkly groups, you niggas don't really represent the black community at large. You're a special little niche of safe, selected, chosen Negroes that white folks keep as pets. You're not those dangerous wild Negroes out there that we hear about. You're a domesticated, neutered, spayed pet Negro that they keep around because they thought you were useful because you knew what other niggas were up to. Like, yeah, you're technically a Klingon, but you're like Worf. Like, you're not a proud warrior race Klingon no more, nigga. You're on the Starship Federation. You don't do shit. You get beat up every episode. Like, you're Worf. The other Klingons don't respect you, nigga. Like, take off that crusty forehead. You ain't really a Klingon. Niggas don't really respect these niggas that run with the Democratic Party. You have no sway with black folks. If you would have been beating your chest and speaking with your spine straight about what was going on in these black communities to these white folks and telling them the real. See, because white folks were hearing murmurings. White folks were hearing murmurings. And they came to y'all. I saw Angela Rye lying on the air. It was, Angela, what's going on with these Negroes that are upset with us? They're saying they're not going to vote for Biden this year. This is just like 2 years ago. And what was Angela Rye on TV saying? I don't know where you're finding these black folks to say they're going to vote for Trump, but I don't know any. I don't know any black folks to say they're going to vote for Trump. Well, we found them, and they were all at the polls, right? We found all of them. They was all Pookie, Ray Ray, Earl, everybody was there. Registered up and voted for Trump. Registered up and voted for Jill Stein. Registered up and voted for Cornel West. Niggas gave you every warning. Niggas told you what was up since Joe Biden told all you bootlicks in that meeting that black folks better get behind the Hispanics. That was the nail in the coffin right there. You had every opportunity to correct that immediately. You had every opportunity to correct that immediately. And you didn't take that shit seriously. Poll after poll after poll told you that niggas was not coming to help. But you know what gave you too much confidence? Was that midterm. That midterm, which I'm still saying was added up kind of funny, but we won't go there. That midterm made Democrats think wasn't no red wave coming and we can keep on doing this bullshit and there's going to be no consequence. That midterm had Democrats thinking they're so scared of the idea of Trump that we can do whatever we want. I'm sitting here watching live as we speak. All these detached, politically unaware, not a part of their community, uppity blacks in the Democratic Party saying things that let me further know that they have no idea what people are going through in black life that they swore mattered, right? You got a lot of these uppity bootlegs talking about y'all did all this for a $1,200 check. Y'all did all this because he gave you a $1,200 check. I'm arguing right now on Twitter. I'm back on Twitter, by the way, y'all. It's been a 4-year ban. I'm arguing with a nigga on Twitter right now who goes to an HBCU in Mississippi, chastising black folks who are voting for Trump because he gave them a $1,200 check. Nigga, $1,200 is like more money than some niggas in Mississippi get all month. And you surprised that they are happy to get the nigga back in office that gave them a $1,200 check when the whole country shut down during COVID? You ain't judging those companies for voting for Joe Biden because the Democratic Party was cutting $12 billion checks for all these big corporations before the country shut down, right? But you mad that some niggas signed over for a $1,200 check. That shows you how out of touch you are with your own community. 99.999% of these coons that got selected to be around white folks to represent the black community are selected because of how far away from niggas they exist. They'll say and do anything for these white folks. They literally go up on stage and be singing and dancing for them. They'll do anything for the right price, and the price don't even got to be that high. Remember in the primaries in 2020, y'all don't remember what the mayor of New York City did back then. Can't remember if he's the mayor or the governor. Bloomberg was just openly buying niggas. Remember that? And you started seeing all these black influencers and black Democratic Party butt kissers magically start switching over to Bloomberg. Look that up. This is in 2020. And Bloomberg's so disrespectful because he's an immigrant himself. He's so disrespectful. He was openly telling you how much he was buying niggas for. He was buying all of Andrew Yang's supporters and buying everybody else's supporters and going, hey, man, he told you right out open, I'm paying $5,000 to $6,500 cash for you to just back me. And all them little black bootlicks were switching over to Bloomberg before he just gave up and got out the race. That lets you know you can buy these niggas loyalty for $5,000 for a campaign. Not $5,000 a month. Not a paycheck, a pay stream of $5,000 on average, $5,000 every 2 weeks. Just $5,000, period. These niggas will get down on their knees and do whatever you need them to do. They will get down on their knees and please. That lets you know how low these niggas are. These are real deal hoes. A hoe is someone that'll do anything for some money. Everything's for sale, including their dignity. And now you're seeing that these hoes have no value to these white folks no more. This is the part of the movie Queen where Halle Berry's got to walk through the street and come back to Blackie Town and go, I's Negra, right? Now you're realizing Now you're realizing you was out here alone. That's what happens when you sell out. When you sell out, you lose all value because the people that are buying you know that you're for sale. And the people you sold out ain't never going to forget what you did to them. And now you're a man or you're a woman without a country. I'd like to take a little bit of a moment. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to save that for last. Getting back on point. Strategically, what we need to do as black people, especially as black men, we need to give black women and the rest of the black community that leadership they've been saying they've been clamoring for from black men. Y'all want leadership from niggas? No problem. Here's the leadership. We're doubling down on this business we're standing on. I want every black man to look around and realize that you are going to be the bad guy anyway. You might as well enjoy it, right? Put on that Dr. Von Doom mask and embrace this shit. We're going to be blamed for this election, and damn it, we want the blame. Because to blame us for losing this election for them is to give us all the power to take a president away from them. Yes, we did it. I don't give a damn what them polls show. Oh, it was actually Latino. No, we did it. We did it. We're the bad guy. We're the ball man. We're the problem, right? What are you going to do about it? You can't kill us. You can't beat our ass, right? You're going to have to find some way to make us come back to the fold. You can't work around us. You can't ignore it. It's real now. The Republican Party knows that the black vote, the black male vote in particular, is in play. All these independent groups know that the black vote, particularly the black males, is in play. And there's a strategy now to beat the Democrats every single time. And there's no amount of, you can't run to the Latinos. You damn sure can't run to the white men, right? You gotta go to niggas. What are you gonna do? Go to the Asians? It's like, what are you gonna do? Right? You gotta go to black men. That's it. And shaming us and talking shit ain't gonna work. See, you notice right now, all the shit talking and all the name blaming, all the name calling and finger pointing, it's coming from the sassy black men in the Democratic Party. But that's like the equivalent of somebody's pet chihuahua barking at you at the front door. You ain't gonna do shit. I bucked my shoulders at you one time. You're gonna run behind your owner. And your owner is gonna realize we can't talk to these niggas like this no more. The owner is gonna shh, quiet down, sassy. Hey, black guys, can we talk to you for a minute? That's how they're gonna come at us. What we need to start doing is building on this momentum. I said in the last episode, you know what's going to really hurt the Democratic Party? Since they talking all this shit, you know what's going to really hurt the Democratic Party? You want to talk about power. If you think we got power, black people, in the office of presidency every 4 years, wait till they get a load of what we can do at their midterms. As I've stated before, the black vote has given the Democratic Party a number of different unfair advantages. And one of them has been that we give them such an easy ride in all these black districts, in all these black towns, in all these black cities. We give them such an easy ride with these congressmen and congresswomen, where they get a black person in a black city and put a D by his name, and he or she just rides off into Congress without no competition. You know what that does for a political party? That means you don't have to spend any money in those districts. You don't have to spend any money campaigning because we put a nigger over there and it's nothing but niggers over there and they're going to vote for the fellow nigger. That means you get to save money and redirect and reroute and redistribute that money over to more competitive campaigns, on the white side of town, in a purple state, in a purple district, in a blue dog Democrat district. But what if you had to focus? Oh my God, we got to focus on our base now. We got to focus on all these black elections. We got to spend money campaigning for Jim Clyburn. We got to spend money campaigning for Jim freaking Clyburn. And what if in all the black congressional caucus member races, now the Democratic Party has to spend money, has to spend time, has to have town hall. Some of these black politicians are so unpolished, so uncouth, just so uncivilized and so unrefined. They don't know what they're doing because they've never had to really do anything beyond being a black face in a high place. What do you think is going to happen when you actually start putting these niggas where they got to be in town hall meetings? Look at what happened to Mayor Eric Adams when he had to be in them town hall meetings and face his people. Look at these Chicago town hall meetings where you had real black folks that got to live with the real consequences of these Democratic Party decisions and these policies. Look at what happened when you had real town hall meetings with real black folks in them. How hard they had to buckle. Look at those California legislator meetings with the reparations bills. That's shit the Democratic Party didn't want getting out. Imagine that through an entire midterm where you're going to already be having to fight Donald Trump. It's going to look so bad when we're going to go fight Donald Trump and his fascism and his racism, and you're getting flanked from the side, getting beat up by the black folks. You got to fight to save these congressional black caucus members' seats. As I've said before, it don't matter if you don't win one single race. They shouldn't be having seats that are getting contested. They need to know that it's over for the Democratic Party. You're going to have to start all the way back over earning black people's votes. That 60 years of credit that you got for them civil rights bills and shit, that shit's up. That shit been expired. We've let white folks on the left get way too comfortable how they was talking to us. They was talking real spicy. Shouldn't no white person be able to call no black person no sellout for not voting for their punk ass party? Who was it? John Henrik Clark that said black people don't owe nobody nothing except an ass whooping? We've kind of forgotten who we are and got these people way too comfortable talking to us like that. And this is a reminder. This was long overdue. This is just between black folks and the party. Niggas done got way too comfortable coming at us like that. And speaking of way too comfortable, now that we done got the party out the way and how to deal with the party, since we talking about fallout, I'd be missing this opportunity entirely if we didn't break down the different little special groups that we've had a problem with for a while that are deeply affected by this, and how you shouldn't feel no shame and no remorse on giving these niggas the combat boot to the chest while they're on the ground. Oh my God, we finna play tetherball tonight. We finna play some tetherball tonight. I got whole episodes where I told you niggas, like Dub C, I told you niggas, the album before that one, right? I told you niggas that your stay here in America is tentative and completely dependent on us letting you walk around. I told you niggas in episodes, I told y'all, I said, you guys think in your mind that the thing that keeps you guys here is whether or not the good, nice white folks like you. You think the good, nice white folks let you in. You think the good, nice white folks run it. That's not how it really goes. We've been here for many years. And every election cycle, every now and then, sooner or later, the face of white America changes to a face that knows not a little African. And Americans get tired of these immigrants. Shit goes too far. You know, as a black immigrant, you are the least desired anyway. Especially you Haitians. You know, nigga, you know the deal. But y'all started getting in here and blending in with black folks, or thinking you blended in with black folks, and y'all started cooning like you ain't never cooned before. Y'all started cooning so hard, our American-built coons was getting offended. Because foreign coons don't know no bounds. At least American coons know certain things you don't. You know what I'm saying? American coons were like, we're going to be quiet during George Floyd. Like, you know what I'm saying? It had to be Candace Owens still talking. Like, you guys don't have no boundaries because you aren't. Ironically, for a group called Tethers, you guys aren't bound by anything as far as morals and understanding. And y'all got loud and proud and got comfortable and thought y'all was secure here. Y'all was falling for the bullshit white folks be telling you. Oh, you're better than the blacks. You're just such hard work. Nigga, the Asians could have told you that model minority shit only gets you so far. They'll model minority your ass right to an internment camp. The Asians could have told you that. And we kept trying to warn you. Hey, man, you might want to watch your tone, bro. You're outing yourself and letting regular black society know how you really feel about black Americans. And y'all just kept talking. Kept talking. The Africans was the loudest. Remember, when black Americans came out against this Dreamers shit, when black Americans came out against the Dreamers Act, which was about Latinos, it was the Africans that came out full force attacking black Americans. It was the Africans that attacked ADOS first, before any Latino said shit. It was the Africans, because you felt your spot was in danger. You blew your cover. Black Americans weren't even thinking about y'all. Black Americans spend less than 1/2 of 1/nth of 1% thinking about Africans. Don't nobody want to go to Africa. Don't nobody want to hear about Africa. Don't nobody want to hear no Afro beats. Niggas be calling those Mufasa jams. Don't nobody listen to that shit. That's why you can't make Burner Boy a thing over here. Nobody cares. No disrespect, but you don't be on our mind like that. Niggas don't really have negative thoughts about Africans either. Niggas are just indifferent. And you had to put yourself in the forefront of negativity with your little weak-ass African pride, which is really shame and insecurity, with your weak-ass African pride, and you had to out yourself and make yourself a damn target, when you should have just laid your little musty asses low. But no, you guys had to keep talking. You had to keep talking. And we told y'all. We said, you're over here worried about niggas. You need to be worried about these white folks because your time's about up. And here we are. Here we are. And it amazes me to think, like, just think about this as a strategy. This is something that lets us further know how out of touch these Democratic strategists and these black bootlicks for the Democratic Party are. You've been watching us go to war with these Africans here in America for the better part of 4 years. Really longer than that. Really, during Trump's whole run, y'all was talking big shit. You've been watching us go to war with these Africans for this whole time. And your plan to get us to vote for you and stop Trump was, come on, guys, we got to stop Trump or he's going to mess up immigration. See, you guys got overconfident again. When Joe Biden won his office spot, when Joe Biden became the president and started opening up the floodgates for immigrants, you niggas really felt like you had arrived. And here we are. And you saw during that first night of Donald Trump being elected president, foreign flag Twitter, foreign flag Instagram, foreign flag YouTube got real quiet. I felt like Yoda. I felt the force of tens of thousands of generators crying out and then suddenly going silent all at once, right? Shit got real quiet in foreign flag land. They're just now starting to, like, I guess they're trying to go out with a bang. They must have regrouped in like the last few days. They're just starting to talk shit on Twitter again. But I just got to keep reminding them, hey, nigga, you got till January 20th. Get it all off your chest. We saved your inner tube that you got here on. We're sending you right back in it. We're sending you right. See, you know how them white folks was treating you in international waters. White folks was sinking your rafts and shit. Sorry, buddy, you said no more slave ships, right? We're sending this back to Ghana. White folks was sending your ass back packing. That's what they was doing to y'all in Europe. They just got done with a big ass race riot over there in the UK. The only reason they wasn't doing that shit here in the US is because general black folks was protecting you. General black folks was going, no, not them. You can't touch. Even though they some bitch ass niggas, they with us. You don't got that pass no more. It's green light on y'all. Y'all gonna be the first to go. They gonna walk right by Tren de Agua and shit and all them niggas from Venezuela. They gonna go right at you niggas. Everybody do, man. The one thing you don't do with white folks, you do not mess with white folks' pets. You Haitians was out there eating the cats and eating the dogs. Yeah, you was. Don't lie. It's your musty ass. You have no protection. You shit talked your way into complete isolation with the black community. And now here you are. Now you call up on these podcasts all somber and sober and respectful. Hi, hello, I am Abdi. I am calling. We need to stick together. No, we don't, nigga. No, we don't. No, we're good. The white man's going to come for you too. We ready. You should have been stockpiling up on ammo. You over there tap dancing and driving for Uber. You should have took some of your Uber money and bought an AR-15. We ready. But you niggas got to go. I packed your little Ghana Go bag from back in the day. It still fits. Here you go. Habibi. Come on, let's go. You're going to be the first ones to go. All you little racist Latinos, you niggas is next. You niggas is next. And it's not just going to be immigrants that are going to get that squeeze. All you little sissy sassy gays, all you niggas in the LGBTQ community, you niggas are about to get rolled back like Walmart prices in a minute. Everybody been sick of y'all niggas for a minute. Not because you're gay, because you're annoying. You niggas been doing way too much. People want their women's sports back. Women want their bathroom. See, people try to make it seem like, oh, it's a bunch of racism and homophobia. No, you guys just took it too far. Women was all for all that gay shit when it wasn't bothering them. Now you're in their bathrooms. You made shit weird. This isn't even gay shit, to be honest with you. This is shit that even the gays are like, all right, this is a little too gay. Y'all done made it too gay for the gays. When you got the L in the LGBTQ beefing with the T, that's letting you know shit done went too far. You finally made regular people reach their breaking points. You made black people see front and center how this immigrant shit went too far. You had them busing immigrants into the black neighborhoods, taking over the black schools, taking over the black parts. What little shit we got in these bumbly, stumbly black communities, here you niggas go getting bust in. Using up all the food stamp. Y'all was doing stuff so bad for those immigrants. Y'all was going so hard for those immigrants. Racist whites couldn't even blame black people for shit no more. You niggers cause all this crime. Oh, no, that's a Mexican. Sorry, blacks. Sorry, niggers. You spending all those food stamps. No, I never seen a nigger buy that much food with the food stamps before. I think that's a Mexican. That was y'all. You couldn't even blame niggas for shit. You know how bad you gotta make shit to make like racist white folks and niggas team up? You took things way too far. You got way too egregious. You got caught. And now look at you. And rather than realizing that, deep down, you know this is your fault. Deep down, you know the Democratic Party's policies sucked. But you can't just admit to that because you're so far beyond the pale. Black Boule, bootlicks, and tethers, you guys got exposed for not having no pull with the black community. And nobody can be a better example than that than the King Boule tether himself, Barack Obama. You really brought your Kermit the Frog built ass, Kermit the Frog sounding ass out in front of white folks. You try to come out and show white folks how you was going to check the black people. Like, hey, you got to talk to the brothers. Talk to the bro. You niggers better listen. Y'all's bitches better recognize. You really thought you was gonna come out and punk niggas who already see if you was not so out of touch with the black community, Barack Obama, you would have known that you was already skating on thin ice. You would have known you was already skating on thin ice and niggas was giving you a pass for the sake of bullshit black unity. Right? You came in for 8 years, did absolutely fucking nothing for black folks, did everything for the gays, passed all kinds of Blue Lives Matter laws and shit while the cops was killing us, doing all kinds of weird shit, did everything, didn't do nothing but lecture niggas your whole career, and niggas let you slide. 40 million black folks, only 2 niggas, Cornel West and Tavis Smiley, called you out. 8 years of bullshit, right? Niggas let you slide. Because we don't want to make the first black president look like he don't got no pull with the black community. But deep down, and not even really that deep down, black folks was talking amongst each other saying, man, this nigga ain't doing shit. What's the point of having a black president if he ain't going to do shit for black people? What's the point of having a black president to come out here and be a mouthpiece for white people? He just saying all the shit white folks wish they could say. Oh, pick your pants up, nigger. Oh, work harder. Quit being a little bitch. People were trying to internalize that and turn it into some grandiose black power. Yeah, he's trying to give tough love. And no, nigga, you just distancing yourself. You ain't saying that shit to the gays. Right? Remember Barack Obama tried that it gets better bullshit with the gays. And they say it don't get better if we don't reelect your bitch ass. He's like, you know what? Gay marriage is fine. After my presidency, I'm going to have one secretly. Barack Obama's the main tether, the main boule bootlick that showed you he don't got no credibility with black folks. They nigga, black folks stripped your black card in front of the world. You were never going to see Barack Obama talk and try to sway an election again. He blew that one. If he would have just shut his ass up and stayed in the background, that was what killed it for her. If you go back and look at the polls and look at the last time her numbers just dropped dramatically, it was after he did that speech. And she tried her best, as politically unaware and politically unsavvy as Kamala Harris was, she understood that was a fuck up. She said, "Oh, hey, I don't share his views. I don't think that black men should have to vote for me because I'm black." She knew that was bad optics. I'll give her that, but it was too late. The damage had been done. That was a test to our testicles, as people say. He was daring us to do something about him. This Donald Trump re-election undoes all that Barack Obama hope and change bullshit from 2008. Totally undoes all that shit. That's how you knew it never really was a racial thing to begin with, because a lot of them white folks that voted Trump in 2016 voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. They wanted the nigga to win. They wanted him to go do all the shit. Regular working class white folks was as excited about Barack Obama going into the White House as niggas were. Because we thought he was going to do some nigga shit. You're a black man. Everybody, even white folks know. Black people know how it is to get mistreated. So they're going to come in here and do the right thing. They're going to come in here and look out for everybody. And you came out there and did the same Wall Street bullshit as any white person. What was the point? What was the point? And it sent the wrong message to Democrats because Democrats got away with the crime of the century. And they thought in their mind, oh shit, we got these niggas figured out. We don't got to give them black politics. We just got to give them black optics. That's what the Democrats thought that we wanted. That's what the Democrats thought America wanted. That's why when you go back and you look at Joe Biden's first press secretary, Jen Psaki, the little redhead chick, you look at the questions they would ask her when he first got into office, and you look at her answers and they didn't make any sense. It's because they were completely detached from reality. They would ask Jen Psaki regular basic ass softball questions like, Madam Press Secretary, can you please explain to us what Joe Biden's economic plan for the next 4 years is going to be? And she would really say shit like, we'll tell you what his plan for the economic plan for this country is going to be. He just elected the first female in the position of financial security. A woman, a whole woman. That's right. And they're like, the fuck that got to do with the budget? Like, what the fuck that got to do with the budget? Oh, and she's black. Oh, okay. What the fuck that got to do with the budget? They were really just telling you demographics that they were covering with positions they hired. They weren't even telling you what their plans were. The Democrats really thought everything was just optics from here on out. We can get away with murder as long as we have the murderer be a gay black lesbian with Down syndrome. If we can check off enough oppressed groups, we can get away with whatever because the optics look perfect. And it all fell to shit. And here we are. And see, the first stage, like I said, they're throwing their little hissy fits and their little tantrums. There's glitter and KY jelly flying everywhere in the Democratic Party. But that just further lets you know how little power they have. The little tantrums that you see Democratic voters throwing right now is the equivalent of the female that's mad at her husband or her boyfriend. And she knows she can't really beat him up, but she's just so mad. And all she can really do is pound her little forearms into his chest as he pats her on the back and goes, there, honey, calm down. You big brute. Why did you vote for Trump? Hey. Calm down. I don't give a shit. You can't do anything to the black vote, especially the black men. We're already the bad guy. We're the dark-skinned and bald nigga in a Tyler Perry movie all the time. They made color purple about us. We're Mr. Look at you. Losing your presidency. You ain't never gonna be shit. We's especially fixed that ballot box to make sure it ain't been tampered with. Oh, God, it's so... Oh, man, you have no idea how much fun I had watching that election. You had no idea how much fun I had watching that election. I knew it was over when they tried to call Washington, Oregon, and California for Kamala Harris. They never call those states until dead last because first of all, they're on the West Coast, so they close later. And second of all, we all know which way those three states are going. They're going to go blue. They had to throw those numbers in early so that the ass whooping didn't look as bad as it looked. I got to sit there and watch live as CNN, as John King went through a long diatribe of how important it is that she wins Pennsylvania for her to have any hope. And mid conversation of explaining how dire Pennsylvania was, he had to stop and go, Donald Trump has won Pennsylvania. It was a wrap right there. They normally call states when they're at about 70, 75% completion. They were waiting until they got to 99% to call a state for Trump. and they still had to call a state for Trump. It was over. You don't even get to have that whiny shit where, how come the president that wins the popular vote doesn't get to be president? No, that nigga won that too. He won everything. And your little rage and little phony righteous indignation don't do shit for it. You notice all these septum ring wearing black women and all these sassy queen niggas, they're looking at the numbers. You hang with white folks more than you hang around black folks. Your white female friend from work, Susie in HR, Bob in accounts receivable, your white friends dogged you out. All them Latinos and Arabs and even the Native Americans, all the people that be in those diversity pictures next to you, all of them dimed you out. But you can only really get mad at black men because you're only allowed by your white handlers to get mad at black men. That's who you're supposed to be in charge of in the black community. You're supposed to check the black community. But you can't do that because it's been exposed you don't have any pull with the black community. Think about how dumb you sound. We're all a bunch of racist, misogynistic, homophobic people, right? So you rolled a female candidate out in front of a group of people that you think are a bunch of misogynists? How'd you think that was going to work? How'd you think that was going to work? That's on you. That's like me having a meeting in front of the Ku Klux Klan and then getting my ass whooped. And I'm going, oh, you guys are all a bunch of racists. Yeah, nigga, why'd you come here? We're all a bunch of misogynists, and you rolled a woman candidate out. Let's just say that was the only reason. Why would you do that? Why would you roll the woman candidate out that ain't got no goodies for us? Why would you roll the woman candidate out and your only reason for us to vote for is she black? Like we haven't seen enough of you boule niggas with your black faces in high places sell us the hell out time and time and time again. Why would that matter to us? Oh, we got to hurry up and keep Trump out. He's going to roll back all this gay stuff. You promise? You sound like an ad campaign for Donald Trump. The Democratic Party's had too much power entirely anyway these last 12 to 16 years. We're getting tired of shit we can't say on the internet no more. If you sit back and say that Donald Trump rigged the 2016 presidency and he used Russia and the Cobra Kai and Megatron and Freddy Krueger and they all came together and rigged the election, no problems. If you say, that 2020 election was kind of weird how we all went to bed and Trump was up and we woke up and he lost. Oh, all of a sudden your page gets shut down for misinformation. We've seen the owner of Facebook say on air, yeah, the feds came by my door, tell me I can't say this or say that, or I can't say this and I can't have I got to block these people. We saw social media got exposed. I did a whole episode on that. Elon Musk, don't rock with him. He's a product of apartheid South Africa thievery, right? But he did do one thing good. When he bought Twitter, he came in and accidentally blew the whistle and said, oh shit, most of these people are FBI agents. We get regular conversations with FBI agents where they tell us to block this person, block that person, mute that person. Look at how much hard work all those fake newscasters did to block those Twitter files that came out. Niggas is still mad about what y'all was doing during the pandemic. Right? And you thought you was going to get another 4 years out of this with an uncharismatic bore like her. The Democratic Party is in the Marie Antoinette let them eat cake stage. And they don't realize that the American people have surrounded the castle and we outside with the guillotine. We ain't gonna jump. They don't even realize how bad it is. They still sitting there throwing tissy fits, not realizing, no, you're on your heels. And Donald Trump wasn't playing about deporting a lot of niggas. He's dead. He ran on that. The most dangerous thing in the world is when somebody is running on something that everybody is in favor for. Donald Trump is coming in as the most populist presidential candidate in a long time. Long time. He's riding on some very, very popular stances. I'm going to get these criminal immigrants out of here that came in here illegally. I'm rolling back all this LGBTQ shit that targets kids. Well, good luck riding against that. Good luck. And I am going to enjoy this tether purge. It is tether weather. It is tether. I want to do a whole separate episode on that. And we're just going to have back to back to back to back to back clips of all you tethers talking that good shit. Talking that shit. And niggas ain't going to have no problems letting you get. Look at how powerful the black vote is. 99% of what we do involves us not doing shit. We are Atlas to you niggas. We hold y'all whole world up. And all we need to do is but shrug our shoulders to make earthquakes tremble under your feet. Look at how bad you needed us, and you was talking shit all that time. See, your grandparents that got here, they remember how things used to be before they got comfortable with y'all. They remember how things used to be. That's why even though they felt the same way you feel, they kept that shit inside. Your grandparents was some quiet Africans. They was some quiet Caribbeans because they knew these white folks want to string me up by a tree, but I got to hide behind these akatas right here. I better not get too out of line. Let me tell them some fake Pan-African blackity black stories to keep them thinking that we're on the same page. And you niggas got comfortable. You niggas thought it was the final stage in the takeover. And y'all could have the big reveal. Gave away your position too early. And there's going to be black Americans because you know how we are. We're some good people. There's going to be some black Americans that are going to still feel sorry for y'all bitch asses when y'all got put back on, when y'all get put back on them rickety rafts and them river boats and them inner tubes and shit and get sent back down the middle passage. There's going to be some black Americans that are going to feel bad because it's going to be people that look like us. It's going to be people that look like dustier, mustier versions of us with bloodshot, jaundiced eyes and bad hairlines looking in the cameras, looking like a Sally Struthers commercial. Black folks are going to feel bad when they see you niggas getting kicked back down river. And that's why it's our job. That's why it's our job to play them footage and show them clips and show them quotes of that good shit you was talking when you thought you was up. You Latinos too. Everybody's getting stuffed in a van and sent right back down packing. You can't fight the inevitable. Customs and Border Patrol been itching for this shit. They've been itching for this shit. We ain't building the wall no more. Now we're building the catapult. You're going back home the expressway. You live wherever you land. This shit flies as far as Honduras. And the Africans could be the first to go. First to go. If I were a black person looking for a job right now, I'd be applying over at ICE. Because they're gonna need a lot of help. They're gonna need a lot of help. Remember, these people had no problems signing up to be police to go arrest and harass your black ass. Now it's time to return the favor. And ain't it funny how just losing one election by democratic process, ain't it funny how that shit revealed that all that this is for democracy shit that the Democrats was talking was complete bullshit? Because now you guys are openly talking about how you wish you would have killed him when you had the chance. You guys are openly talking about how y'all went from accept the election results right back to not my president, and I think Putin got involved and y'all cheated. Y'all saying all the shit that y'all was laughing at him for saying. Now you're saying it. Now you want to recount. Now you're talking about we're going to resist him on all the way up to January 20th. Are y'all niggas going to raid the Capitol? Of course not. You guys ain't got no nuts in your whole group. There's going to be a couple of little sissies going to sashay up to that Capitol. Ooh, no, they look big and strong. I'm not going to do it. Right? You niggas ain't know you ain't got no heart to be doing no shit like that. Couldn't even pull off an assassination attempt. Y'all had 2 chances. Limp was... Hey, do you know how funny it is? You know how funny it is that the Democrat guy that tried to shoot Trump missed because he limp-wristed the shot? Of course you did. Right? Of course you limp-wristed the shot. Like... You made that man a martyr. You made that dude a legend. He won that presidency. He won this election the second he got up from that first assassination attempt and had his fist in the air. That picture looks so badass with blood on his ear, the American flag flowing. A damn bald eagle should have just landed on his shoulder. If I was Donald Trump, that would have been my campaign poster right there. Like it don't get any more American. He's driving up in garbage trucks after you messed around and called half the country garbage. The Democratic Party abandoned the working class people. Not just black folks. It abandoned working class people. It really hasn't been for working class people for decades, but now it's obvious. And the world saw it. The whole country saw it. The world saw it. You're out of touch with the working class people. You looked down on working class people. You openly talked about for every blue collar voter that you're going to lose, 2 or 3 white collar workers is going to come in and take their place. You became the corporate party openly. This is how you lost. This is why you suck. And you're not going to accept it. You're going to try to hide behind racism and misogyny. The niggas is with the other guy now. All that credibility is gone. Everybody wants these immigrants to go. Everybody. Even other Latinos. And we're going to talk about this purge in a minute. Because that tether purge this tether purge is going to be real. Signing off.